Some people don't destroy your life because you were cruel to them. They destroy your life because you were kind. The Stoics warned about this centuries ago, that the most dangerous people are not the obvious enemies, but the ones who smile while draining your strength, the ones who take your help, your time, your love, and then blame you when their life doesn't magically fix itself. These people don't want improvement. They want rescuers. They want emotional servants. They want someone to carry the weight of their bad decisions, their lack of discipline, their chaos. But here's the truth. When you try to save the wrong person, you become the villain in their story. Not because you harmed them, but because you exposed their responsibility. The more you help them, the more entitled they become. The more you sacrifice, the more they demand, and the moment you stop saving them, they act like you betrayed them. Stoic philosophy teaches this brutal, uncomfortable truth. Helping the wrong person is a form of self-destruction. And today, we're going to expose types of people who will destroy you if you try to help them, even if you mean well, even if your intentions are pure, even if you're the only one in their life who genuinely cares, because the wrong person doesn't ruin your life in one blow. They ruin it slowly, quietly, while you think you're doing the right thing. Let's begin. By the way, before we begin, let me talk to you about my Patreon community. Most people suffer in silence because they've got no one around them who truly understands what they're going through. That's exactly why I created the Inner Circle, a private space where you can speak openly, share your personal struggles, and get real one-on-one insight from me. Not the shallow, recycled advice you see online, but deep Stoic guidance tailored to what you're actually facing. You can even request personalized video topics, and I'll break them down directly for our members. It's not for everyone. It's for people who are done with fake motivation and ready for real growth. If that's you, the link's in the description and the first pinned comment. 1. The person who thinks you owe them. A dangerous person is not always loud, violent, or openly toxic. Sometimes, the most destructive individual in your life is the one who quietly believes you owe them something. Your time, your effort, your money, your emotional labor, your energy, your patience, everything. This is the person who walks into your life with entitlement, not gratitude. They don't see your help as generosity. They see it as a debt you're supposed to pay. At first, they appear harmless. They seem like someone who just needs a little support. But the moment you start helping them, they begin rewriting the terms of the relationship. You help them once. Now it's expected. You help them twice. Now it's your job. You say, "I can't today." Now you're selfish. In their mind, your kindness is not kindness. It's an obligation. And the more you give, the more they demand. Stoics warned about this mindset because it's rooted in moral corruption. Marcus Aurelius wrote that a grateful person sees assistance as a gift, but the entitled person sees it as a contract. And worst of all, one you never agreed to. Here's how this person destroys you. They drain you slowly, not violently, not dramatically, but subtly, with expectation, guilt, and emotional manipulation. You start changing your schedule to fit theirs. You start sacrificing your peace to protect their feelings. You start worrying more about disappointing them than protecting yourself. And here's the dangerous twist. No matter how much you help them, you will always be the villain in their story. If their life doesn't improve, it's because you didn't help enough. If you can't do something, it's because you don't care. If you set boundaries, it's because you've changed. This is how entitled people operate. They expect your sacrifice, but feel zero responsibility for their own life. A real-world example. Think of someone like Mike Tyson and Don King, a classic case of entitlement disguised as a relationship. Tyson made millions. Don King took advantage, believing he was entitled to Tyson's fortune because he helped him rise. Tyson trusted him, supported him, depended on him. But to King, Tyson's success wasn't Tyson's, it was his, and therefore he felt entitled to take from him, to drain him, to manipulate him. That's what entitled people do. They turn your success, your kindness, your help, into something they think belongs to them. And once you stop giving, they become dangerous, aggressive, guilt-tripping, or vindictive. Stoic wisdom, Epictetus, warned, "Do not give your soul to those who believe it is their right." The Stoic solution is simple but difficult. Help people who value your help. Avoid people who feel entitled to it, because the person who thinks you owe them will destroy you without ever lifting a finger, simply by draining everything inside you and calling it your responsibility. 2. The chronic victim. There is no person more draining, more emotionally expensive, or more dangerous to help than the one who has built their entire identity around being a victim. This is the person who believes life is something that happens to them, not something they participate in. They don't make mistakes. Life attacks them. They don't have flaws. People target them. They never admit their role. Fate cursed them. And the moment you try to help, you get absorbed into their personal tragedy, like a character in a story you never agreed to be part of. The chronic victim has 3 predictable traits. Trait #1. Every problem is someone else's fault. If they lose a job, it's because the boss had it out for them. If a relationship falls apart, the partner was toxic and ungrateful. If they fail an exam, the teacher didn't like them. If they sabotage themselves, life is unfair. They never say, "I need to improve," or "I could have handled that better." Growth is impossible because responsibility never touches them. Trait #2. They attract chaos and then cry about it. The chronic victim creates their own suffering and then demands sympathy for the damage. They procrastinate, then complain about stress. They choose unreliable people as friends, then complain about betrayal. They overspend recklessly, then talk about being financially cursed. And when you give them advice, they ignore it. When you give them warnings, they dismiss them. When you give them help, they drain you. Trait #3. They don't want solutions, they want attention. This is the part that destroys helpers the most. You'll spend hours listening to them. You'll give them strategy, guidance, wisdom. You will pour emotional energy into them like a therapist, a coach, a mentor, and next week, they'll come back with the same problem, the same drama, the same emotional script. Because they never wanted healing, they wanted an audience. Why helping them destroys you? Stoicism teaches that you cannot reason with someone who is emotionally invested in their own suffering. The chronic victim sees your help as fuel for their story. If you comfort them, you're the only one who understands. If you advise them, you're being judgmental. If you set boundaries, you're abandoning them like everyone else. If you stop helping, you become the villain in their tragic little universe. You will be cast into the role they need, not the role you actually play. An example: a man tries helping his friend who constantly complains about being broke. The friend earns a decent income but spends recklessly on nightlife, impulse purchases, and pointless subscriptions. So the man creates a budget plan for him, shows him where he's leaking money, explains how to build savings. What does the chronic victim say? "This won't work for me. You don't understand my life." I just have bad luck. 1 month later, he's complaining again. Same problem, same behavior, same victim story. The helper realizes something important. You cannot save someone who is emotionally addicted to their own suffering. Stoic conclusion. Epictetus warned, "A man is not troubled by events, but by the view he takes of them." The chronic victim chooses a view that keeps them weak. And if you try to fix them, you get stuck in the same frame, drained, frustrated, responsible for a person who refuses to be responsible for themselves. Helping them doesn't lift them up. It pulls you down. Move wisely. Protect your peace. And understand that some people cling to their suffering the way others cling to their identity, because for them it is their identity. Three, the jealous friend, the one who secretly wants you to lose. A jealous friend is one of the most dangerous people you can ever try to help, because they don't want improvement, they want comparison. They live in a silent competition that only exists in their own mind, and no matter how much you support them, cheer for them, or help them grow, they can't stand the idea of you being even one step ahead. Your success feels like their failure, and your growth feels like their threat. You try to inspire them, you try to share knowledge, you try to uplift them, but jealousy poisons everything it touches. A jealous friend doesn't hear your advice. They interpret your help as a reminder that you're above them. They don't see you as an ally. They see you as the benchmark they desperately want to beat. And the moment you help them, they twist it in their head. If they can help me, maybe they think I'm beneath them. Maybe they think I need them. Maybe they think they're better. You're giving out kindness. They're receiving it as competition. These are the people who clap when you fall. These are the people who disappear when you rise. These are the people who will sabotage you, not because you harmed them, but because your existence reminds them of their own laziness, insecurity, and lack of direction. A jealous friend will do these things quietly. They downplay your achievements with comments like, "It's not that big of a deal, bro. Anyone could have done that. You just got lucky." They mock your goals so you stop chasing them. They get irritated when others compliment you. They only support you when you're struggling, because that's when they feel equal. And the moment your life becomes better than theirs, they distance themselves, criticize you, or pretend you've changed. Stoic philosophy: comparing yourself to others makes you dangerous. The Stoics believed jealousy comes from a weak mind, a mind obsessed with what others have, instead of what it can build. Seneca warned, "A man who envies others cannot enjoy anything of his own." Jealous people cannot grow. Jealous people cannot celebrate others. Jealous people cannot handle watching you become who they wish they were. Why helping a jealous friend will destroy you? Because instead of gratitude, they give you secret resentment. They'll act friendly. They'll smile. They'll ask for advice. But inside they're taking notes, looking for the moment where they can use your own kindness to undermine you. You show them a strategy. They try to one-up you. You teach them a skill. They pretend they were always better. You help them achieve something. They tell others they did it entirely alone. A jealous friend will never admit you helped them, because doing so would mean acknowledging you're ahead. A real-world example: Michael Jordan, the greatest basketball player in history, talked about this exact issue. He said that many teammates didn't want to learn from him, because learning from him meant admitting he was above them. They preferred staying mediocre than letting him help them become great. That's jealousy in its purest form. They would rather lose alone than win with you. The Stoic truth: a jealous friend is not your friend. They are a rival disguised as support, a competitor disguised as family, a critic disguised as someone who cares. Helping them doesn't heal them, helping them triggers them. And the more you lift them, the more they resent you for being high enough to reach down. Final message. If someone can't celebrate your success, they don't deserve a seat in your life. You can help the weak, you can help the lost, you can help the wounded, but you cannot help the jealous, because the moment you do, you become the enemy they secretly wanted to outrun. 4. The one who only learns through pain. Some people don't grow from guidance. They don't grow from love. They don't grow from warnings, advice, or the wisdom you try to hand them. They only grow after destruction, and they will take you down with them before they ever change. This is the person who treats your help like background noise. You can sit them down, look them in the eyes, tell them exactly where their life is about to fall apart, and they'll smile, nod, promise they'll work on it, and then walk straight back into the fire. They are addicted to pain, not in a dramatic, poetic way, but in a behavioral way. Their entire identity is built on suffering, self-sabotage, and disaster-driven adrenaline. And the moment you try to save them from their own chaos, they will resent you for getting in the way. Here's the harsh truth. You can't help someone whose only teacher is consequences. You can warn them 100 times about the toxic relationship. They won't listen until the heartbreak destroys them. You can tell them that their financial decisions are reckless. They won't listen until everything collapses. You can try to guide them toward discipline, stability, better habits. They won't listen until the lack of discipline ruins their health, self-esteem, or future. For these people, your advice is not a gift. It's an inconvenience. They don't want prevention. They want catastrophe, because catastrophe is familiar. It's predictable. It's the emotional cycle they've repeated since childhood. Real-life example. Think of a friend you've tried to help over and over. You explained how their partner cheats on them. You showed them proof. You gave them a place to stay, emotional support, a plan to move forward. And what happened? They went back. They always go back. Not because they don't know better, but because they don't know how to stop repeating the same self-inflicted wounds. These people only wake up when the universe hits them with consequences so heavy they can no longer deny them. And here's the worst part. When you protect them from the consequences, you delay their growth and destroy yourself in the process. You'll lose sleep, lose energy, lose emotional stability trying to save someone who isn't ready to be saved. You'll give advice they never use. You'll offer support they never appreciate. You'll put your own life on hold for someone whose destruction is self-chosen. Stoicism is brutally clear about this. What happens to them is their path. What happens to you is your responsibility. Trying to help someone who refuses to learn will drag your life down to the level of their chaos. You will start absorbing their stress, their drama, their consequences. You will bleed for wounds they gave themselves. And the tragedy, when they finally hit rock bottom, they won't thank you for trying to save them. They won't remember all the times you warned them, supported them, lifted them. They will say, "No one was ever there for me," because people who only learn through pain also rewrite history to protect their ego. You become the villain for trying to protect them from their own choices. Stoic lesson: a person who rejects wisdom must be left to the wisdom of consequences. It is not cruelty, it is necessary. It protects you, and it gives them the only thing they ever learn from their own reality. Because once they feel the full weight of the damage they caused, once the disaster finally becomes unavoidable and undeniable, only then, and only then, will they even consider changing. And the most important rule: you cannot go down with them. If they must learn through pain, let it be their pain, not yours. 5. The emotional leech who turns your strength into their crutch. Some people don't want help. They want a human life support machine. They drain your energy, your time, your peace, and your patience. Not because they're evil, but because they have built their entire identity around being rescued. And the more you help them, the weaker they become. This is the person who calls you only when their life is on fire. They treat you like an emotional firefighter. You show up, you fix the problem. They promise they'll do better, and then they go right back to the exact same behavior that caused the crisis. They don't want healing, they want relief, temporary relief from consequences, accountability, and discomfort. And guess who provides that relief? You. The more they rely on you, the more they expect you. Soon you're not helping them, you're carrying them. And the moment you try to step back, they panic, they guilt trip you. They tell you you're abandoning them, betraying them, or acting different. They don't see your boundaries as protection. They see them as rejection. Why they destroy you if you try to help? Because your help doesn't strengthen them, it weakens them. It reinforces the idea that someone else will always fix their choices. And slowly, without noticing, you become their therapist, their parent, their personal crisis manager, their emotional sponge, their 24/7 emergency hotline. And they become dependent on you, the way a plant becomes dependent on artificial light. They can only survive if someone else keeps the lamp turned on. You take a day off, they collapse. You say you're exhausted, they take it personally. You say you need space. They spiral, because the emotional leech thrives only under constant rescue. The Stoic breakdown Stoicism teaches that the highest form of strength is self-governance, discipline, self-control, and responsibility. Emotional leeches lack all three. They outsource their emotional stability to others. You cannot help someone who refuses to build the inner muscles of stability. A Stoic would say, if your presence makes someone weaker, your absence will destroy them. You're not the solution. You're the dependency. A real-world example. Think about the friend who always comes to you crying over the same heartbreak, the same toxic partner, the same red flags, the same cycle. I swear this time I'm done. I just need your support. You're the only one I trust. You sit with them. You talk them through it. You stay up at night, giving advice. You pour into them emotionally. And 2 days later, they're back with the person who destroyed them. And now you look like the bad guy for telling the truth. This is the emotional leech pattern. They want comfort, not change. Attention, not improvement. Support, not accountability. And the more you help them, the more they blame you when their life doesn't magically fix itself. The final warning: the emotional leech will destroy you not out of malice, but out of dependency. They drown slowly, pulling down anyone close enough to grab, and they don't notice the difference between support and sacrifice. Helping them becomes a full-time job. Your happiness becomes optional. Your peace becomes irrelevant. Your boundaries become selfish. And eventually, you'll realize this truth. You can't save someone who refuses to stand. You can only drown trying. 6. The constant liar. The constant liar is one of the most insidious and dangerous people you can ever try to help. Unlike someone who lies occasionally or out of panic, the constant liar has made deception a core part of their identity. Their reality is not grounded in truth. It is constructed entirely from falsehoods, half-truths, and carefully curated narratives designed to manipulate perception. Every story they tell, every explanation they offer, every promise they make is a calculated distortion of reality. When you attempt to intervene in the life of a constant liar, when you try to offer guidance, advice, or genuine help, they do not see it as assistance. To them, your involvement is a threat to the carefully constructed illusions they live within, a threat to the freedom they feel when they manipulate others, and a threat to their self-image, which depends entirely on others believing their version of events. The constant liar's world cannot survive truth. And when you bring even a sliver of honesty, they will respond with defense, deception, or outright aggression. Stoicism teaches that truth is the foundation of virtue. The Stoic believes in clarity, in observing reality as it is, without distortion, without filtering it through self-interest or fear. To the constant liar, the truth is dangerous because it exposes weakness, their own, and robs them of the control they wield over others. Every interaction with a constant liar tests your patience, judgment, and awareness. Attempting to correct them often backfires, creating frustration, doubt, and wasted effort. Example 1. Imagine a co-worker who consistently claims credit for the work of others, taking advantage of team efforts while avoiding accountability. You attempt to guide them, explaining how reputation and integrity influence long-term success. Instead of listening, they deny, deflect, or spin the narrative. "I did all the work myself. You're just misunderstanding." In this scenario, your advice becomes irrelevant because their priority is maintaining the illusion of competence, not learning or growth. Your attempt to help is reframed as criticism, and you begin questioning your perception. Did you really see what happened? Are you overreacting? Example 2. Consider a partner in a personal relationship who lies repeatedly about finances, whereabouts, or intentions. When confronted, they gaslight you. "Why are you always questioning me? I've never lied." Here, the liar transforms your concern for clarity into an accusation against your character. They have no interest in improvement. Their goal is to control the narrative so that they remain unchallenged, and your attempts to guide them are viewed as intrusive attacks. Over time, you may notice yourself replaying conversations, analyzing every word, and doubting your own instincts, all of which erode your confidence and peace of mind. The danger of helping a constant liar is not just wasted effort, it is the erosion of your own judgment. They rely on your goodwill to maintain their web of deceit. Every attempt to aid them can pull you deeper into their false reality, making you complicit in their manipulation, even unintentionally. Your focus shifts from your principles and peace to trying to correct, convince, or reason with someone who refuses to recognize truth. Stoicism teaches discernment and self-preservation. You can offer guidance, demonstrate integrity, and act as a model of truth, but you cannot impose honesty on someone whose life is rooted in falsehood. A Stoic recognizes the boundaries of influence and accepts that some people cannot and will not change because of outside intervention. Effort spent on a liar does not produce transformation. It produces exhaustion, emotional turbulence, and vulnerability to manipulation. Example 3. A family member who constantly lies about their successes, failures, or financial situation. You attempt to help them manage their resources or improve their habits. Each suggestion is met with denial, exaggerated stories, or defensive rhetoric. They present themselves as victims or geniuses, depending on the moment, and your advice becomes a challenge in their eyes. Even if your intentions are pure, your help is rendered ineffective because they are not prepared to confront reality. The ultimate lesson is clear. A constant liar will not change because of your guidance, effort, or moral reasoning. Their lies are both a shield and a tool. Engaging them under the pretense of helping is a path to frustration and emotional drain. Compassion does not mean sacrifice of your clarity, boundaries, or peace. The Stoic approach is to act with wisdom, offer help only where it can be received, set firm boundaries, and protect your energy. Observe patterns, recognize manipulation, and understand that the liar's world cannot survive scrutiny. Protect yourself from being drawn into the cycle of deceit. Speak truth where it is heard, act with integrity where it is valued, and withdraw from relationships dominated by habitual falsehood. Because once you engage with a constant liar, expecting change, you are no longer helping. They have turned your kindness into a weapon. Your insight, effort, and care are no longer tools for transformation. They become a mechanism for your own manipulation. The wise Stoic knows this. Truth cannot be forced upon the unready, and peace cannot be sacrificed for deception. 7. The entitled person. Entitlement is one of the most corrosive traits you can encounter, especially when you try to help someone. The entitled person believes that the world, and, more dangerously, you exists to serve them. They assume that your time, energy, advice, and resources are theirs by default, regardless of whether they earn them, appreciate them, or even deserve them. Stoics teach the value of self-control, gratitude, and fairness. Entitlement is the opposite. It is a worldview that excuses laziness, discourages growth, and weaponizes the generosity of others. Helping someone with this mindset is not an act of virtue. It is a gamble with your own peace of mind. No matter how much you offer, it will never feel like enough, and your assistance will quickly become a burden rather than a benefit. Example 1. Imagine a friend who constantly borrows money, equipment, or favors without any intention of returning them or even expressing appreciation. You take the time to guide them in budgeting, planning, or responsibility. Their response? Why are you being so strict? I thought we were friends. Don't you trust me? Here, your effort to teach accountability is reframed as distrust. Their entitlement shields them from self-reflection, and your generosity becomes a source of guilt or accusation. Example 2. Consider a co-worker who demands your help on projects but refuses to help others in return. You spend hours mentoring them, offering insights, and helping them navigate challenges. Instead of gratitude, they assume that your support is simply part of the relationship. When you eventually set boundaries, they act as if you are the one failing them. After everything I've done, you won't even help me now. The entitled person cannot perceive your assistance as voluntary. It must always feel obligatory. The danger of helping an entitled person is twofold. First, it conditions you to overextend yourself, draining your energy while producing minimal change in their behavior. Second, it erodes your sense of fairness and moral clarity. They manipulate your natural desire to help, twisting it into a tool to serve their own ends. In essence, your compassion becomes a playground for their selfishness. From a Stoic perspective, the proper response is discernment and detachment. You do not abandon virtue, but you protect your energy and integrity. Stoicism teaches that our duty is to act rightly, not to fix the unfixable or serve the ungrateful. Helping someone who is entitled often violates this principle because the effort expended rarely results in genuine growth. It only reinforces their flawed worldview. Example 3. A family member constantly insists that you drop your priorities to assist them with personal matters, claiming that your attention is their right. When you attempt to explain that you have obligations and boundaries, they twist your refusal into evidence of cruelty or neglect. The entitled person cannot conceptualize voluntary assistance. They only see what is owed, and any limitation you set becomes a moral failing on your part. The Stoic approach is clear: help only when it aligns with reason and virtue, not when it reinforces someone else's entitlement. Set boundaries firmly, act with clarity, and refuse to internalize their manipulative framing. Your duty is to act with justice and wisdom, not to validate the distorted expectations of another. An entitled person is dangerous because they are never satisfied, never accountable, and never appreciative. They will attempt to manipulate your goodwill, distort your sense of obligation, and consume your energy without producing mutual benefit. Your kindness is only effective when it is respected and recognized, not when it is weaponized against you. In the words of the Stoics, act with integrity, but protect your peace. Offer guidance, support, and assistance only where it is valued. Withdraw your energy from those who view your efforts as mere currency to be spent on their whims. Because once an entitled person senses that they can push without consequence, they will not stop, and your virtue becomes the tool of your own depletion. 8. The temporary effort person. Some people seek help, not because they genuinely want to improve, but because they are addicted to short-term fixes. They take action only until it becomes uncomfortable, inconvenient, or requires consistent discipline. The moment the effort demands real sacrifice, commitment, or perseverance, they retreat into old habits. Helping them is like filling a bucket with water while it has a hole at the bottom. Nothing ever truly sticks, and your effort feels wasted. Stoicism teaches the value of consistency, self-discipline, and personal responsibility. A person who refuses to commit to sustained effort will never change, no matter how much guidance, advice, or support you provide. Their fleeting attempts are not a sign of growth. They are a trap designed to lure your energy, goodwill, and patience while producing no lasting result. Example 1. Imagine a colleague struggling with productivity. You invest time showing them better strategies, techniques, and workflows. For a week, they implement your suggestions diligently, but by the second week, old habits resurface. They abandon the system, revert to shortcuts, and then complain about the same problems they were supposedly solving. Your initial guidance, intended to help them grow, becomes a revolving door of frustration and wasted effort. Example 2. Consider a friend who constantly promises to improve their health or finances. They take small steps when you're involved, perhaps joining a gym, attending a workshop, or following a plan. But once your attention wanes, they stop. They abandon routines, ignore advice, and resume behaviors that caused the issues in the first place. When you confront them, they apologize, make temporary adjustments, and repeat the cycle. Your energy and guidance are consumed by their pattern of short-lived action, while their growth remains illusory. The danger of helping a temporary effort person is psychological depletion. You invest hope, time, and insight into someone who cannot sustain change. Their failure is inevitable, not because your help is inadequate, but because they refuse the necessary work that leads to real transformation. Over time, repeated engagement with such individuals erodes your patience, fosters resentment, and clouds your judgment about who is genuinely worth helping. Stoics emphasize the importance of discernment and self-protection. While compassion is a virtue, it must be exercised wisely. Investing in someone who refuses to commit to long-term growth is not virtuous. It is enabling. Your guidance should serve those who are willing to walk the path, not those who only want the illusion of progress. Example 3. Within families, a relative may seek assistance with managing responsibilities, such as maintaining a household or adhering to a treatment plan. They follow instructions sporadically, complain about the difficulty, and then revert to neglect or poor choices. Your attempts to help them are met with temporary compliance at best. Their effort is a mirage, a fleeting shadow of change that never solidifies into habit. The Stoic approach is to recognize patterns, not intentions. Do not be fooled by temporary compliance or brief bursts of initiative. Observe consistency over time. True growth requires sustained effort, accountability, and personal responsibility. If a person cannot demonstrate these qualities, your help will not lead to transformation. It will only leave you frustrated, drained, and entangled in their cycles of inconsistency. Helping a temporary effort person is like watering a plant that refuses sunlight. No matter how much care you provide, the fundamental conditions for growth are absent. The Stoic principle is clear. Offer guidance to those who are prepared to act consistently, and withdraw from those who exploit your effort for momentary comfort without embracing lasting change. By doing so, you protect your energy, maintain your integrity, and ensure that your help is meaningful, not wasted on cycles of temporary, ineffective effort. Because compassion without discernment is not virtue, it is depletion. And Stoicism teaches that wisdom lies in knowing when to act and when to withdraw. 9. The narcissist. Narcissists are among the most dangerous people you can try to help because their reality revolves entirely around themselves. They are charming, persuasive, and often appear successful, but beneath the surface is a fragile ego that cannot tolerate criticism, accountability, or truth that conflicts with their self-image. When you try to help a narcissist, your efforts are never received as support. They are perceived as attacks, threats, or challenges to their superiority. Stoicism teaches that the wise cultivate self-control, clarity, and emotional resilience. The narcissist embodies the opposite, a person whose thoughts, emotions, and actions are entirely dictated by ego, status, and perception. They manipulate, charm, and deceive to maintain a narrative in which they are always right, always victimized, or always superior. Any attempt to guide them towards self-improvement triggers defensiveness and often hostility, because growth requires admitting imperfection, something a narcissist refuses to do. Example 1. Imagine a co-worker who constantly demands your input on projects, seeking your expertise and guidance. You provide detailed advice, but instead of applying it, they subtly twist your words to elevate themselves. I followed your suggestion, but I did it better. Or, I took your advice, but only because I knew how to improve it. Their ego cannot accept your contribution as valuable without turning it into a tool for self-promotion. Even your helpfulness becomes fuel for their narrative of superiority. Example 2. In a personal relationship, a narcissist may display what appears to be interest in your advice or support. You suggest improvements to habits, finances, or communication. They nod, seem attentive, but immediately reinterpret your guidance to serve themselves. I only listened because I knew you were trying to control me, or I did what you said, but I did it my way, which worked better. The narcissist cannot view your assistance as a gift. It must either feed their ego or be weaponized against you. The danger in trying to help a narcissist is psychological and emotional erosion. They draw you in with charm, manipulate your empathy, and create the illusion of needing guidance. But in reality, your energy is consumed while their patterns remain unchanged. Over time, repeated attempts to assist them produce frustration, self-doubt, and resentment. Stoics recognize that not all who ask for help are ready or capable of receiving it. Narcissists are rarely prepared to confront their flaws because doing so threatens the foundation of their identity. Example 3. A family member who constantly dominates conversations may appear to want your input or collaboration. You offer your perspective, but they immediately dismiss it or reframe it as evidence of your inadequacy. "I can't believe you think it works that way. You clearly don't understand." Your attempt to help is reframed as incompetence or challenge. The narcissist's goal is control, not growth. Your guidance becomes a tool for them to assert dominance while keeping you off balance. Stoic wisdom teaches discernment. You can offer insight, model integrity, and act with reason, but you cannot force someone to embrace truth. A narcissist cannot be helped in the conventional sense because their self-interest is absolute, and their identity depends on maintaining illusions. Efforts to correct, guide, or teach them often backfire, reinforcing cycles of manipulation, guilt, or emotional fatigue for the helper. The key lesson: compassion does not require sacrifice of your clarity, boundaries, or peace. A Stoic acts wisely, recognizing when engagement is productive and when it becomes self-destructive. Helping a narcissist is rarely productive. It is often enabling and draining. By observing their patterns and setting firm boundaries, you preserve your energy and protect your equilibrium. Ultimately, a narcissist's danger lies in their combination of charm, cunning, and ego. They will consume your time, manipulate your intentions, and twist your goodwill into a weapon, all while appearing to be innocent, wronged, or superior. The Stoic approach is not to stop helping entirely, but to help wisely, selectively, and without expectation of transformation. Your peace, integrity, and clarity must remain untouchable, even when faced with their persistent manipulation. Stoic principle: engage only where virtue and wisdom can flourish. Withdraw from those whose nature resists both. This ensures your guidance serves its true purpose: improvement where possible, clarity where appreciated, and protection where necessary, without falling victim to the narcissist's ego-driven trap. In the end, the harsh truth is this: not everyone wants your help. Some people will manipulate, deceive, or exploit your goodwill. No matter how sincere your intentions, they will test your patience, challenge your judgment, and attempt to bend your integrity to serve their selfish needs. The danger lies not in their actions alone, but in how much energy, focus, and peace you invest in trying to fix them. Stoicism teaches that wisdom is knowing what is within your control and what is not. You cannot change someone who refuses to change themselves. You cannot instill virtue where there is no willingness to grow. The more you pour your effort into those who are resistant, entitled, deceitful, or self-absorbed, the more you sacrifice your own clarity, stability, and happiness. Helping is only effective when it meets a mind and heart prepared to receive it. Otherwise, it becomes a weapon turned against you. This is why discernment is as important as compassion. You must learn to recognize the patterns of danger, to see clearly the traits that indicate someone will drain rather than elevate you. Protect your time, your energy, and your peace. Offer guidance where it can truly make a difference, but do not force transformation on those who are unwilling. Remember, your responsibility is to your own character, your own growth, and your own tranquility, not to rescue every person who crosses your path. The Stoic path is not coldness, it is clarity, It is the art of giving without expectation, helping without losing yourself, and withdrawing when engagement threatens your virtue. By practicing this, you preserve your power, maintain your integrity, and ensure that your actions serve wisdom rather than waste. So reflect on the people in your life. Identify who lifts you up, who respects your boundaries, and who seeks mutual growth. And then have the courage to step back from those who do not. Because your peace, your character, and your energy are far too valuable to be spent on those who cannot, or will not, receive them wisely.